Kept away from the eyes of the world, these terrifying creatures will blow your mind.
I'm always the holder, I'm never the taper.
From dark tunnels to deep oceans, dense woods to roadside discoveries. These are the most disturbing critters that no one was ever meant to see. The Amazon rainforest is home to some of the most incredible creatures on Earth, but even experienced explorers weren't prepared for what they saw. A massive anaconda appeared before them, not just slithering along the ground, but lifting part of its body upright, as if scanning its surroundings. People related it with the mythical creature Yakumama that looks like a snake and is known to eat anything that comes near its territory. Roadside adventure. Anacondas are among the largest snakes on Earth, known for their incredible strength and stealthy hunting skills. So, when a massive one crossed a road, a crowd quickly gathered, eager to catch a glimpse. The snake wasn't the biggest ever seen, but it was still huge, big enough to make most people keep their distance. Many pulled out their phones to snap pictures and record videos. It was a once-in-a-lifetime encounter, and these people made sure they got enough evidence to prove it. Shock in Thailand. A giant python getting caught in a trap. Now that's a sight no one would want to miss. The locals had spotted a massive snake in their neighborhood, and in an attempt to get rid of it, they set a trap. All's well if it ends well, right? Mysterious giant eel. Not the ordinary tiny-sized eel, but this one was so huge, it shocked even the experts. When the locals spotted the giant on shore, they called it the Great Abaya, an eel related to the folklores that is believed to live in the fresh waters. The abaya is said to view the lake's fish and other aquatic creatures as its children, and it punishes anyone who dares to take them. This made the locals believe that it expired protecting its territory. Prehistoric monster alive? Millipedes can be creepy, right? Just imagine seeing one the size of a car. Recently, some villagers in Indonesia claim to have found an enormous millipede-like creature in the forest. In the footage, 4 men struggled to carry it using bamboo poles on their shoulders. If you think it's unreal, let me tell you that millions of years ago, such a creature actually existed. It was called Arthroplura, a massive millipede that lived over 300 million years ago during the Carboniferous period. This giant was as long as a large dog and is believed to be the biggest millipede to have ever existed. Giant spider chase. This nightmarish creature was spotted inside an abandoned house. It was opened by an explorer who was trying to have a safe spot for the night, but he ended up being chased by this mysterious entity. This wasn't just any spider, it was huge, with thick, creepy legs that made it look even scarier. It moved fast, almost like it knew where it was going. Man versus giant snake. Pythons may not be venomous, but their strength alone makes them dangerous. One man in a quiet farmhouse came face to face with a giant python. The man had managed to loop a rope around its head, but the python refused to give up. It thrashed wildly, twisting and turning with incredible strength. One thing was sure, it sure was good idea. Otherwise, who knew what would happen? The next thing the farmer did was to inform the authorities, who responded immediately and took the snake to a safer place. Chained beast discovered. South Africa is known for its incredible wildlife, lions, elephants, rhinos, but no one expected to see this. In a remote area, a strange creature was discovered. It was chained down while people gathered around in shock. The beast was massive, covered in thick black hair, with sharp, jagged scales running down its back. Its long, pointed teeth made it look terrifying, yet it didn't attack. It just lay there, completely still. While no one had an exact idea, people still believed it was a byproduct of some failed scientific experiment. Shocking flood discovery. Floods can cause all sorts of chaos, but sometimes they reveal the strangest sights. After massive flooding hit Malaysia and southern Thailand, one shocking moment stood out. A video taken in Patani province on December 1st showed a huge python floating through the floodwaters, its belly noticeably swollen. Reports suggested it had recently eaten an animal before being carried away by the current. The eerie footage quickly went viral, racking up millions of views. While pythons are common in the region, seeing one adrift in floodwaters like this was an unforgettable sight.
ตัวอะไรครับเนี่ย Anaconda
Anaconda stops traffic. Driving down a quiet road suddenly, traffic comes to a halt, not because of a breakdown, but because a giant anaconda decided to cross. That's when a driver spotted an enormous snake slithering across the pavement. He hit the brakes and came out to see the giant serpent. According to the driver, he frequently encounters massive reptiles. He also noted that the snake had recently hunted, which he believed was the reason it didn't attack. Tick or terror. What would you do if you found a bug staring back at you with a human-like face and sharp teeth? Something similar happened when a giant albino tick was discovered in a pond by some explorers. Unlike regular ticks, which are tiny and barely noticeable, this one was massive. Its pale body looked swollen, and its mouth had tiny, human-like teeth, something no tick should have. Normally, ticks are arachnids related to spiders and scorpions, and they survive by latching onto animals and people. But this thing, it was like something out of a nightmare. Real or illusion? Some things just can't be explained. But this was something else entirely. In Pakistan, people spotted a strange creature racing through the streets. At first, it didn't look anything like a normal animal, but then it changed. Feathers suddenly appeared, making it look like a bird. Then, just as quickly, it shifted again, becoming something completely different. Those who saw it tried to keep up, but the creature was too fast, vanishing into the darkness. One-horned wonder. Cows have always been important in many cultures, but this one was truly unique. A strange-looking cow was recently seen in India, and it had just one horn, but not in the way you'd expect. Instead of a pointed horn, it formed a perfect ring. Locals gathered, amazed by the unusual sight. Some thought it was a rare genetic mutation, while others believed it had a deeper, mystical meaning. Despite its odd appearance, the cow seemed completely normal. Spinning beast. Have you ever seen an animal move like a living wheel? A man walking by a river froze in shock when he spotted something rolling through the mud, completely curled into a perfect circle. It wasn't tumbling by accident. No, it moved with purpose, twisting and flipping as if this was the only way it knew how to travel. No one had ever seen anything like it. Before anyone could get a closer look, it vanished into the thick mist along the riverbank. Tunnel horror. If you've ever wondered what lurks inside the dark tunnels of our world, this video is for you. A sewage worker, curious about the sudden bubbling of water late at night, set up his camera to uncover the cause. What he captured was nothing short of a nightmare. The footage revealed a creature unlike anything he had ever seen. A bizarre, snail-like being, far from the usual animals found in the depths. Even though his camera had exposed the culprit behind the chaos, he never dared to enter the tunnel again. Huge python tied down. Tied with chains and placed in an eerie way, this snake took the internet by storm. At first, the online spectators were shocked to see the giant size of the snake, as it was one of the longest snake ever caught. And then the second mystery was, who captured it? And where did it come from? Swamp monster or snake? Local drivers near a highway in Ohio witnessed a massive, snake-like creature crawling out of a lake. It was long and thick, moving slowly as it dragged itself toward the road. The next shocking was the mist, or maybe smoke, that seemed to rise from its body. Some thought it was a sewer beast, while others noticed a greenish tint on its skin. Later, many online viewers claimed it was just a giant python covered in moss or algae. Deep water surprises. While exploring a lake in South Africa, a group of scuba divers stumbled upon giant pythons and piranhas lurking in the depths. The massive snakes coiled around submerged tree trunks, their thick bodies blending into the dark water. Some remained still, while others moved slowly, watching the divers. Ancient river giant. Two experts exploring a river discovered an enormous crayfish, one of the biggest ever seen. It had a tough shell, powerful front claws, and looked like it had been living undisturbed for ages. Crayfish usually hide in freshwater rivers and lakes and come out at night to search for food. But this expert duo got lucky as they spotted the giant out in the river. Dinosaur set free? In the middle of a dense forest, a man was seen standing beside a strange creature that looked exactly like a dinosaur. What was even strange is that its mouth was covered with a cloth, as if he had been keeping it restrained. Then, in one quick motion, he set it free. The creature didn't hesitate. It bolted into the trees and vanished into the wild. Now, according to scientists, dinosaurs got extinct millions of years ago. But what if they never truly disappeared? Bird like no other. Moving on, a man recently filmed a bird that looked like it belonged in a fantasy movie. Its beak, feathers, and overall shape were so unusual that people were left speechless. The bird had an almost mutant-like appearance, making many wonder if it was a rare or undiscovered species. With its sharp beak and intense stare, it had an eerie presence. Some thought it might have been an exotic bird, while others suspected a genetic mutation. Unfortunately, the bird was never seen again for people to identify it properly. Ceiling crawlers.
His room. And she says, Mommy, you've got a bunch of spiders up there.
What could be worse than a spider in your bedroom? 100 spiders in your room? This woman had the fright of her life when she discovered a giant spider nest in the corner of her ceiling. Hundreds of tiny black spiders crawled across the web, creating a sight straight out of a horror movie. These were black house spiders, often found in tree trunks, rock walls, and buildings. Despite their eerie look, they usually avoided people, but this number was too much to be ignored and made the woman take quick action. She immediately informed the authorities, and soon they were removed from her house.
And they're alive.
Dino corpse hoax. Parasaurolophus was one of the most unique dinosaurs, instantly recognizable by its long, curved head crest. It lived around 75 million years ago and could grow up to 33 feet long. But what if one was found today? That's exactly what happened, or at least, that's what some believed. A video showed the decaying remains of a Parasaurolophus with exposed ribs and rotting flesh. Scientists used pulleys to lift the body, eager to study it. The footage shocked many, but soon the truth came out. It was a highly detailed model created by special effects students. What looked like an unbelievable discovery was actually an impressive work of art. Two-headed turtle found. In 2021, a man spotted a turtle with 2 heads, 2 tails, and 8 legs swimming in a lake in Brazil. At first, he thought his eyes were playing tricks on him, but as he watched closely, both heads moved independently, looking alert and active. Scientists say such rare mutations can happen due to genetic errors, environmental changes, or even infections. Despite its unusual look, the turtle seemed completely healthy, swimming around like any other turtle. People who saw it were amazed, calling it a real-life mutant turtle. Japan's devilfish. Some creatures look so strange that they almost seem like something out of a legend. In Japan, one such fish had earned the nickname Devil's Pet. It was called the warui, an eerie, eel-like fish with features that resembled mythical demons. No wonder people find it so fascinating. Despite its creepy appearance, the warui is actually a rare delicacy in Japan and is highly overpriced. 50-foot serpent.
To make several passes over the hole where the snake was in, able to let the man take a picture of it.
Some stories sound too wild to be true. but this one came from a highly respected pilot. In 1959, while flying over the Katanga region of the Belgian Congo, a decorated fighter pilot claimed to have seen something unbelievable: a snake nearly 50 feet long. He became curious and shocked. He circled back to take another look. A passenger on board even managed to take some photos. According to the pilot, the snake was dark brown and green with a white belly. Its head alone was 3 feet long and 2 feet wide, with powerful jaws. But unfortunately, this was the first and the last time the massive serpent was captured on camera. Party turns wild.
Is actually the only snake known that has been proven they've actually cut people out of them, that they are man-eaters.
Parties are usually full of fun, music, and laughter, but at this one, things took a terrifying turn when an unexpected guest slithered in. A massive python. No one knew where it came from, but there it was, moving across the floor as if it owned the place. The moment people saw it, they tried to get as far away as possible. Fortunately, the rescue team arrived on time. They captured the snake, which was also a part of a play, and took it somewhere safer and far from the people.
Be sending in the paperwork, which it's already completed, on its way there, and they will be coming in to actually do all the records.
Is the legend real? The chupacabra has been a mystery for years. Some say it's a terrifying creature that attacks animals, while others believe it's just a legend. But one Ukrainian farmer was sure he had found a real chupacabra. For weeks, his livestock had been disappearing. One night, he heard noises coming from his barn, did a little investigation, and captured this. It had sharp facial features, pointed ears, and terrifying teeth. Wanting answers, he handed it over to scientists for examination. Crab climb. At a seaport near the beach, a group of people watched in shock as enormous crabs crawled up the stairs. These weren't the usual small crabs seen on the shore. They were huge, much bigger than anyone expected. According to the online experts, these crabs had traveled across the sand, moving steadily toward the structure. But in reality, no one knew where they had come from or why they had gathered there, because it was the first time people were seeing this species of crabs. Giant croc. In Port Blair, people witnessed something truly unbelievable. A massive 25-foot crocodile resting in the water. At first, it didn't even look like an animal. Hidden among bushes and plants, it resembled a giant rock. But as the water moved slightly, so did the creature. It was enormous, much bigger than anyone had ever seen before. The crocodile stayed still, its rough, scaly body blending into the surroundings. Since crocodiles are common in the area, some believe it could be one of the largest ever spotted there, and named it Port Blair Giant. Monster bug. Bugs are a part of everyday life, but some are so bizarre they leave people speechless. A person stumbled upon a massive insect, one so strange it looked like it had crawled out of another world. As he picked it up, the creature squirmed in his hands, its sharp legs kicking wildly. Its shell was thick and layered like armor, making it look almost indestructible. And its unusual mouth? It was even creepier. Was this just a rare insect or a mutant species created in a lab? I believe it was a byproduct, but let me know if you have an opinion. Rare jellyfish. Have you ever heard of Chirodectes maculatus? If not, you're not alone. This rare box jellyfish was officially identified in 2005, and barely anyone has seen it. Unlike its deadly relatives, which can deliver an excruciating sting, this one is believed to be harmless. It was about the size of a soccer ball, floating gracefully in the water. But here's the strangest part. It had been spotted not just in the ocean, but in brackish water, fresh water, and even on land. Maybe it has a twin, or it had an incredible strength of surviving in different ecosystems. Griffin sighting. We've all seen magical creatures in movies, like the majestic griffin in Harry Potter. But what if one was caught on camera in real life? A shocking video recently surfaced, showing what looked like a real griffin. Not in a cave or ancient ruins, but inside a house. In the footage, the creature sat calmly as a man reached out and patted it like a pet. Even stranger, It didn't seem aggressive at all. Griffins are legendary beasts with the body of a lion and wings of an eagle, have been part of myths for centuries. They were said to guard treasure and possess great wisdom, but could they also exist in real life? Strange pond creature. This mysterious being was spotted in a pond where it mostly stayed hidden, only surfacing for a few moments before vanishing again. Witnesses couldn't agree on what they saw. Some described it as a beak-like structure, making them wonder, was it a bird, a reptile, or something entirely different? Others believed it might have been a mutated species, but one thing was sure, no one had seen something like this before. Gorilla Crow Mystery.
Bizarre bird that's taking the internet by storm, and we're going to tell you right now, this is real.
Crows are incredibly smart birds. Some can use tools, recognize faces, and even solve puzzles. But what people saw outside a mall in Japan was like nothing they had ever seen before. A strange-looking crow was spotted, and its posture was so odd that it earned the nickname Gorilla Crow. The bird rested on what looked like arms, making it seem more like a gorilla than a crow. Its black feathers, sharp beak, and piercing eyes left no doubt it was a crow, but its stance had everyone scratching their heads. Half seal, half cow? This thing washed ashore in 2021, and no one had any idea what it was. The animal had the sleek body of a seal, but its face looked just like a cow, horns included. It wriggled on the sand like a marine animal, struggling to move. Locals gathered, trying to figure out what they were looking at. Some believed it was a genetic mutation, while others joked that a mad scientist had created a new species. What do you think it could be? Hybrid gone wrong. In this next clip, a bizarre creature that looked like a mix between a duck and a rodent was discovered too in Florida. The animal had duck-like feet, a small furry body, and a long striped tail. It moved in a way that didn't match any known species, making it even creepier. Some thought it was a genetic mutation, while others believed it could be an undiscovered hybrid. Whatever it was, one thing was clear. Nature still has secrets waiting to be uncovered. Giant Medusa.
Medusa, she's very mesmerizing at 25 feet and 2 inches, and she's part of our family.
Zoos have always been a place to see amazing animals, but sometimes one creature stands out from the rest. In this next video, at a Florida zoo, visitors came across a giant 25-foot-long snake named Medusa. Medusa was a reticulated python, one of the longest snakes in the world. She even held the record for being the longest snake ever kept in captivity. Despite her massive size, she stayed calm as people watched in awe. While the mythical Medusa could turn people to stone, this one simply left visitors frozen in amazement.
She's a record setter. I'm very proud of her. I'd love to see her continue to do well. She will never be mistreated, and come to the edge of hell and get to meet her.
Hidden bat nest.
Oh my God.
Bats are small, fast, and love hiding in dark places. In an abandoned house, a homeowner decided to remove part of the ceiling. Instead of dust and cobwebs, hundreds of bats were tightly packed together, hanging silently in the darkness. Their small, twitching bodies and folded wings made them look almost like a living carpet. The eerie footage showed them shifting slightly, their beady eyes glinting in the dim light. But they didn't panic or fly away. It was a hidden world right above their heads, completely untouched for who knows how long. Farmhouse python encounter.
The longest Burmese python ever recorded there, all right? The python measures 19 feet, weighs 125 pounds.
A man was walking along a quiet road when he spotted a massive 19-foot Burmese python slithering across his path. Instead of backing away, he decided to catch it. Burmese pythons are among the largest snakes in the world, growing over 23 feet long and weighing nearly 200 pounds. This one was no exception. As the man approached, the snake coiled up, sensing danger. Though these snakes have poor eyesight. They rely on their tongue and heat sensors to detect movement. After a tense struggle, the man finally managed to control the snake, which was later safely relocated away from human settlements. Hidden burrower. Mole rats are a little strange. These little diggers are built for life underground. But one man had a rare encounter with a lesser blind mole rat. Despite its name, this mole rat wasn't completely blind. It had tiny, hidden eyes under its skin and fur, allowing it to sense light. Its cylindrical, tailless body and large, protruding teeth made it a perfect tunneler, carving out long burrows beneath the earth. Strange blackbird. In India, locals were stunned when they spotted a massive black bird that looked like a giant vulture. Its sharp beak and powerful claws made it seem dangerous, yet it remained calm, showing no signs of aggression. With its enormous wings and dark feathers, the creature had an almost mythical presence. To prevent it from flying away, the locals carefully secured it with ropes. Some believed it could be a rare species of vulture, while others weren't so sure. Whatever it was, its sheer size and mysterious nature left everyone speechless. Last giant. It's always heartbreaking when an entire species disappears. A giant tortoise, believed to be the last of its kind, passed away at Galapagos National Park in Ecuador, marking the end of an era. This tortoise, which was discovered in 1971, had lived for about 100 years. This was despite the fact that his species could survive for nearly twice that long. For decades, he was a symbol of conservation, reminding the world of the fragile balance of nature. The Galapagos Islands, home to unique creatures, played a huge role in Charles Darwin's theory of evolution, but human activities and invasive species pushed many animals to extinction, including this incredible tortoise. And now, let us move on towards our subscribers' pick of the day. A fisherman walking near a wetland stumbled upon something strange. A massive snakeskin stretched across the ground. It was several feet long, possibly from a huge python, but the actual snake was nowhere to be seen. The size of the skin alone was enough to make people uneasy. Just how big was the snake that left it behind? Pythons and other large snakes shed their skin as they grow, leaving behind long, ghostly remains. But if the skin was here, that meant this snake had to be somewhere nearby, right?